Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of Pray for the Devil. This is just another one of those demon possession movies that it seems like we get like every month or so. We get like 25 of these movies a year, so yeah. Was I interested in this movie? Not particularly, but hey, it's a horror movie, so you got me sold at just that alone, and well, it's another new release, so yeah, I'm gonna go see it because that's just kind of what I do. So, not a whole lot of excitement for me going into this one, just kind of, hey, movie that I am gonna go see, sort of thing, when I walked into it. Yes. So, yeah. So, did this movie surprise me? Or was this just kind of what I expected? Just a, sort of movie? You are about to find out. So, starting right off with the positives for this movie, I think the cast here is actually pretty good. Mainly, you got Colin Salmon in here, and I always like it when he pops up in things, and yeah, he's just really good in this movie. He's probably actually my favorite part of the movie is just him and just everything that he does in the film. Then you also got, as a side character, Virginia Madsen in here, and well, she's in Candyman, and Candyman's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, so yeah, it's always nice to see someone from a movie that you really enjoy. And then also our lead actress in this movie, I'm not sure what her name is because I haven't seen her in anything else before, I believe, but she did a pretty good job in this movie as well. I also thought there was this interesting part of the story where it's where this demon is trying to get at our lead character in this movie. I just thought that story was interesting. It's something that I hadn't seen before in a demon possession movie, and not that I watch many of these, but yeah, I liked that it was like this one demon was focusing on our main character instead of just being demon presence thing. So yeah, I liked that aspect of the story. And then my final positive is that I think there was a pretty nice visual style between what's set in like present day in the story and then the flashbacks. There's like a distinct different like visual style that the flashbacks go for that are different than what's set in present day, and then the present day also has a pretty cool visual style to it. So yeah, overall, this film looked pretty good, but unfortunately, those are my only positives, so we will have to move on to the negatives. And like anything I say in the negatives here, it's like, was this movie terrible? No. This isn't the worst movie I've seen all year, like by a landslide. There's like 24 other movies I've seen this year that I would say are worse than this. It's just this movie was just generic. Like, it is extremely, extremely generic. Like we just get so many of these demon possession movies where it's like at this point, I feel like there's like, hey, it's time to make another demon possession movie. Okay, pull out the checklist. Person contorting their body in weird ways. Check. Demonic voice. Check. Jump scares. Check. Rolling the eyes into the back of the head. Check. Like, it's just, just like all these things that are just like, there's odd. It's just so generic. And as someone who's not a fan of this subgenre of horror movies, it's just like, this exists. I don't think it was terrible. Like, I'd be fine watching this movie again, but like, I'd never pick to watch this movie again because there's 50 other movies exactly like this, and there's a lot of other movies in this subgenre that do this subgenre better. And also building upon just how generic this movie is, this movie's just predictable as hell. Like, I could tell you when a jump scare was coming, like, with, like, a minute before the jump scare even happened. I'm like, okay, it's about time for another jump scare. That's how it's gonna happen when it got to the actual scene, and lo and behold, that's how it actually happened. Or they, like, introduce this plot point, or like a character mentions something, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna be that later in the movie, and then it was that later in the movie, or they showed this earlier in the movie, and then it plays into this later in the movie. It's just like, I predicted every single thing that was going to happen in this movie. Like, I could have probably watched the first third of this movie and told you everything that was going to happen in the last 2/3. Like, this movie is just so insanely predictable. So, like, saying that it's extremely generic and saying that's extremely predictable, like, I say those are negatives because, like, I'm just not a fan of this demon possession subgenre of horror. Like, I just don't really resonate with a lot of those types of horror movies. They're not my thing. There's very, very, very few movies in that subgenre that I genuinely love. I mean, I'm doing my top 31 favorite horror movies in just a few days, and there's like 3, maybe 4 demon possession movies on that list. It's like, it's just not my thing. And so, like, when you have a subgenre that's just not something I gravitate towards, it's just generic as hell and extremely predictable, it's like, I don't understand why I would ever go back and revisit this. But, like, if you're someone that likes getting demon possession movies 75 of the year, then yeah, go ahead, go see this. You'll probably have a decent time with it. But, like, for me, I was just like, this is just another one of those movies. Like, I wasn't impressed by it. I wasn't angry that I saw this. I didn't hate this movie, but just like, why? Why are these movies so generic? So yeah, overall, I wasn't really a fan of this movie, but again, that's just kind of my taste in horror, and then this is just extremely generic within that subgenre of horror movie. So yeah, just overall, this movie just really wasn't for me. So overall, I'm gonna have to give Prey for the Devil a 2 out of 5 stars. This is just mainly because this isn't my subgenre of horror, and this movie is extremely, extremely generic and predictable within that subgenre of horror. So yeah, I guess if you're a fan of demon possession movies, maybe check this out. But like, if you're not a fan of this subgenre, then you can probably skip it and just go check out some other horror movie or a demon possession movie that isn't extremely generic. Like, I don't know, go watch The Shining. I don't know. So yes, what did you think of Prey for the Devil? Are you someone like me that's not really into the haunting demon possession subgenre of horror, and so this movie just isn't your cup of tea? Or are you someone that actually really likes this subgenre and really enjoyed this film? Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this movie down below in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.